All suffering originates from craving, from attachment, from desire. I have great faith in fools. Self-confidence, my friends will call it. Those who dream by day are cognizant of many things, which escape those who dream only by night. I became insane, with long intervals of horrible sanity. All that we see or seem is but a dream within a dream. We loved with a love that was more than love. I was never really insane, except upon occasions when my heart was touched. There is no exquisite beauty without some strangeness in the proportion. Believe nothing you hear, and only one half that you see. Years of love have been forgotten in the hatred of a minute. Never to suffer would never to have been blessed. Words have no power to impress the mind without the exquisite horror of their reality. Our religion, my friend, has simply evolved out of fraud, fear, greed, imagination, and poetry. If you wish to forget anything on the spot, make a note that this thing is to be remembered. Beauty of whatever kind, in its supreme development, invariably excites the sensitive soul to tears. Invisible things are the only realities. The death of a beautiful woman is, unquestionably, the most poetical topic in the world. Science has not yet taught us if madness is or is not the sublimity of intelligence. There are some secrets which do not permit themselves to be told. Poetry is the rhythmical creation of beauty in words. It is a happiness to wonder. It is a happiness to dream. To elevate the soul, poetry is necessary. The boundaries which divide life from death are at best shadowy and vague. Who shall say where the one ends and where the other begins? There are chords in the hearts of the most reckless which cannot be touched without emotion. Even in the grave, all is not lost. To die laughing must be the most glorious of all glorious deaths. Every poem should remind the reader that they are going to die. A short story must have a single mood, and every sentence must build towards it. Stupidity is a talent for misconception. Art is to look at, not to criticize. Experience has shown, and a true philosophy will always show, that a vast, perhaps the larger, portion of truth arises from the seemingly irrelevant. A man's grammar, like Caesar's wife, should not only be pure, but above suspicion of impurity. Mysteries force a man to think, and so injure his health. The scariest monsters are the ones that lurk within our souls. The idea of God, infinity, or spirit stands for the possible attempt at an impossible conception. There is an eloquence in true enthusiasm, when a madman appears thoroughly sane, indeed, it is high time to put him in a straitjacket. Imperceptibly, the love of these discords grew upon me, as my love of music grew stronger. The eye, like a shattered mirror, multiplies the images of sorrow. The depth lies in the valleys where we seek her, and not upon the mountaintops where she is found. If they say bad things about you, then they just envy you. Loneliness in old age often means a deterioration in relationship with the remaining relatives and friends, as the elderly person begins to demand constant attention from them. The best cure for loneliness in old age is a pet. If a poem hasn't ripped apart your soul, you haven't experienced poetry. Even for those to whom life and death are equal jests, there are some things that are still held in respect. Marking a book is literally an experience of your differences or agreements with the author. It is the highest respect you can pay him. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. And so, being young and dipped in folly, I fell in love with melancholy. There is no passion in nature so demonically impatient as that of him who, shuddering upon the edge of a precipice, thus meditates a plunge. As a poet and as a mathematician, he would reason well. As a mere mathematician, he could not have reasoned at all. Who has not 100 times found himself committing a vile or a silly action for no other reason than because he knows he should not? And have I not told you that what you mistake for madness is but over-acuteness of the sense? You will observe that the stories told are all about money seekers, not about money finders. That man is not truly brave who is afraid either to seem or to be, when it suits him, a coward. The pioneers and missionaries of religion have been the real cause of more trouble and war than all other classes of mankind. Music, when combined with a pleasurable idea, is poetry. Music, without the idea, is simply music. The idea, without the music, is prose, from its very definitiveness. If we cannot comprehend God in his visible works, how then in his inconceivable thoughts that call the works into being? It would be mockery to call such dreariness heaven at all. If you are ever drowned or hung, be sure to make a note of your sensations. To observe attentively is to remember distinctly. For all we live to know is known.